Brought to you by Nike, RACV Insurance, and TAC. It is the halfway mark of the season. The midterm reports are in. For New Boy Fremantle, the report card is one to be proud of. The Dockers, with their distinctive new look and equally distinctive game, have surprised everyone. 5 wins from 10 games, including 2 in Melbourne and 1 against Premiership hopefuls Geelong, have underlined their potential. Going into this round, they were 7th. At the start of the season, Gerard Neesham's men were ranked 15th and 200 to 1 for the flag. North Melbourne won the Ansett Australia Cup Night Series and went into the season as 4-1 second favourites to take the big one. The Roos have won 6 from 10 and came in place 6th. They have beaten only one team above them on the ladder, a significant one last week against Essendon. Significant because it marked the return of pre-season Brownlow favourite Wayne Carey to his very best. From Subiaco in Western Australia, it's Fremantle and North Melbourne on AFL Sunday.
Welcome back to Subiaco Oval, just in time to see Wayne Carey win the toss for North Melbourne and elect to go right to left in the first quarter. And actually right to left would be into whatever is a breeze here, but a very slight breeze down on the boundary line to help us out with the conditions that we've got here today. Dwayne Lamb.
Drew, yes, I'm not sure that was the right decision, actually, kicking into the breeze, because if anything, it might die and we might get a light sea breeze going the other way. But conditions down here are perfect at the moment. You know, it's good weather for running around and getting a kick. So it's going to be a big job for the Fremantle Docks today, because North Melbourne are a very good side. And
you can throw some light on the placings. You reckon Jones is going to get the job on Carey?
Yeah, my word is Jones will definitely line up on Carey. O'Reilly will definitely line up at full-back and man at centre forward. So he's stuck by his word.
Well, that's a big job for a 20-year-old playing just his 9th game. And prior to that, he just had 1 season with Claremont. And he gets the man who's the hot favourite for the Brownlow medal. There he is, Anthony Jones. Now, Lammy, just before we leave you, have you still down there with the microphone? What about your selection?
Drew, yeah, just with the microphone, I've got to go for North Melbourne, but I think it's going to be a great game. The crowd has actually picked up, and I reckon we've probably got about 25,000 here at the moment.
So the game about to get underway. And going onto the bench, Scott for North Melbourne with Danilchenko and Roberts. And umpire Hayden Kennedy gets us underway at Subiaco Oval. North Melbourne going right to left in the first quarter. And Carey starting in the centre square in amongst the 4. Comes down to Rock of North, gets the first kick of the game. Ridley. Beautiful pass, and Ben Allen takes the mark just over centre wing. Kick by Allen inside the 50. Hutton with the helmet, nudged out of it. A fine mark taken by Smith in defence. Across the last line he goes to Fairley, who's opened up with his man Burrows along the ground. Good pick up by Armstrong. And back it goes to Blakey. Kick by Blakey to Carey. Double teamed him and he got dumped to the ground. And the ball just out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in. And a chance to welcome for the first time this afternoon, Kevin Bartlett.
Thanks very much, Drew, and I'm looking forward to a terrific game between these two sides. Fremantle, certainly one of the most exciting sides in the competition with their style of play. Clinton Wolfe taking it out of the air, getting it across here to Delaney. He really is one of the runners for Fremantle, to Ben Allen. So they take the ball across here to the member side wing. Laidley there, claiming it, and has been paid. Originally started his career, one of the original Eagles. He's played 103 games now of league football. Finds Campbell, who will be pleased to be back in his home state. His father was a great player with South Fremantle, Basil Campbell. Tough as nails. So Carey's the target here, over the top, double teaming there. Clinton Wolfe at ground level. Quentin Leach, very good player, North Melbourne forward, and out of bounds on the 4 from Carey. Listen to the crowd, because they love to see the champion make an error.
Well, even though they double-teamed him on that occasion, he was still able to get away from them and get a kick. But unfortunately for him, he missed. Oh, the kick-in's not too good, and kick it under a bit of pressure here. Ball flipped up to Rock, gets the hand pass out. Campbell floats one across. Armstrong, and they're teaming well across the half-forward line. Schwass, very wide with his kick, and Mann takes the mark. Mann, what am I talking about?
Stevens.
Mark Stevens, the youngster, 19-year-old, came from the Gippsland under-18s and playing just his second game of league football. 3 Stevens on North Melbourne's senior list, and 2 of them playing here today.
Pretty impressive last week, Drew. Against the Bombers, kicked 2 goals in his first game.
Difficult shot. 50 metres from goal. 45. Oh, it's not bad. Pretty close. Just shaves the post. It was a good kick.
Stephen O'Reilly with the ball. Has become a running fullback since crossing it from Geelong to the Dockers. Young McManus.
Oh.
That's a shocking kick. Here's a certain goal for North Melbourne through Allison. And I heard Don Scott go, oh.
Well, you don't see that too often, do you? The man on the mark taking the mark, actually. It was well done, well anticipated by Allison. We watched this. They played the huddle at centre-half back. Then they broke, and it was a good break. McManus there cutting off. They're going to play the short game, but as I said, you don't see that too often. And Allison making them pay.
Mistake coming from McManus, who was last week's Norwich Rising Star nomination.
Well, Allison's kicked 14 goals for the season, and he'll get none easier than that.
Carey in the ruck, or not in the ruck, in the centre square once again for North.
Flipped forward, but chopped off by Kickett. Playing his 5th league club. Only 2 other players in the history of the game have done that. The kick by Kickett is perfect. And Mann takes the mark in between centre wing and half forward.
Martin's got the job on Mann too.
The kick by Mann. All North Melbourne back here. And the mark taken by Capuano.
Well done.
Away to Schwass. The best and fairest. A perfect kick out here to King. But not a perfect kick by him. Up towards centre wing, very close to the boundary line. And Jones beats Carey to it and sees the ball out.
He's got a bit of toe, Jones. It's the second time he's run away from Carey.
So Carey now just coming up to take the ruck work. Wolf for Fremantle takes it out of the air. Trying to crash his way through is Armstrong. Holding the ball. They've learned that rule pretty quickly at Fremantle. So now we see Capuano coming up to do the ruck work and thumps the ball. Chance now for Carey. Read it well. He's going to centre the ball. His target was young Stevens at the back of the pack. Chisholm, who's been an absolute sensation this year. Chance now for Delaney to paddle the ball along. He needs a kind bounce. Bang! Hip and shoulder there from Swash. Kept the arm down. Coming through there, strong play is Muir, former North Melbourne reserves player. Be keen to do well against his old side. Onto the half-forward line. Great play out here by young Callaghan, a youngster, originally from Traralgon, also with the Dockers today. And Delaney.
It's a relay free kick. It's a relay free kick. Martin was dumped after getting rid of the ball.
So Swash has got a loose man out wide. He finds Armstrong. This raking left boot, it's a high ball. So Carey sets himself. Spoiled by his own teammate. Ground level, Wolf. Showing a bit of courage, diving under the ball. Campbell, great pickup. Needs a kind bounce. Still in play. Archer, superb last week against the Bombers with 3 goals. Back to Armstrong. Chance in the square. Carey once more taken to the ground and rushed through.
I don't see how Carey's opponent wasn't penalised. He had the arm around Carey as he went for that. The umpire in the position to pay it.
North Melbourne working into a slight breeze in the first quarter. They've done all the scoring. They're 1-2 to nothing. And O'Reilly not too sure this time. Eventually he kicks it very wide. And mark taken by Leach. Chisholm off the ground already.
Looks like he's being attended to on the ground too, Drew. Back injury, and Madigan on.
Ridley takes the mark at halfback. Floats the hand pass over to McManus. This is what he loved last week against St Kilda when he ran off Winmar. Kick by McManus is very disappointing. Callaghan, good gather on the bounce. Across the half-forward line, Dirk A marks. 35 metres from goal.
Great skill and composure.
Gary Durkee, he kicked 3 goals in the first quarter a couple of weeks ago against the Brisbane Bears. And he actually kicked 3 goals in the last quarter last week against St Kilda. So he can be a burst player. And he'll be a man that North Melbourne will have to watch. Laidley stands the mark. Durkee goes for goal. Offline, he hooked it. And the Dockers' first score is a behind.
It's well set up by Callaghan. Now there's Chisholm having that back attended to.
So Ross Smith favours the member side. He's looking for King, former Port Melbourne star. He's made the transition to league football. Terrific last year in the finals for North Melbourne. Pushing and shoving Corey McKernan from behind. It's been paid. They thought it was in the back against. Free kick to Ridley maybe, but McKernan plays on quickly. It's a long ball, well read by Kickett, but should have taken the mark. Backing up is Jones, is caught. Good tackle by Carey. Kickett working hard. Been terrific across half-back this year. So out goes the Wolfman. Bit slow today, gets the ball back. Kickett.
Good chasing.
Fantastic chasing by young Stevens. Armstrong hard up on the boundary, back to Stevens. Wolfman once more being held. So the Dockers bring it away. Ridley's the target. Mighty Mick Martin thrown to the ground. Chance for Ben Allen. Free kick's been paid. And it's going to Allen.
Umpire deeming Allen was held when he didn't have the ball.
First free kick of the game to the Dockers. Allen's kicked to half forward. Burrows. Off the ground by Laidley. Another West Australian back home. Kick by Laidley. Perfect to Campbell.
He's gone.
Carey leads out wide, but Campbell goes longer. 2 against 2 down here. It flips off Stevens' hand. Here's Allison. An open run for goal. Allison gets his second.
So a terrific start by North Melbourne. Carey won the toss, elected to kick against what appears to be a slight breeze. So Waters just weaves his way out. Shades of Barishnikov there. Delaney's been caught. Great pick up by Durkee. Kicking to space on the lead is Burrows. Needed a kind bounce. Callaghan, quick hands, gets it back to Mann. Great tackle out there by Laidley. Back here to Durkee. Twists and turns. Great goal, Durkee. Wonderful play.
Well, he was looking for an option further down the ground, Durkee. Nothing coming, but he still had presence of mind just to hold the ball, and then with just his man, Durkee's looking for something down the ground. You see there, a little hesitant, left, right, and then said, no, I'll do it myself. Dockers first, and Burton now on the ground, Wolf off. Interesting now because Capuano certainly has jumped over Wolf on a number of occasions.
Well spotted Burton, the tallest player ever to play AFL football. Capuano once more still doing well in that centre square. Chance for Archer. Quick hands there to Blakey. Intercepted here by Muir. So it's into the forward line. Hutton's out. Got his hands on the ball. The Sherrin just wouldn't stick. Under pressure. Stevens back to the half-back line. Could be a free kick here to the Dockers, and it goes to Madigan. Former Hawthorn premiership player in '89.
There's a big hole there in which the forwards can lead to.
Really struggled to live up to that expectation. So here's a chance there. Man from behind. Picked up by Delaney. He wants to run with the ball every time he gets his hands on it. McManus caught. Great tackling by North Melbourne. And Armstrong puts him into attack.
Long kick by Armstrong. Carey at half forward. Can't quite take the mark. Hits the deck. Kickett's been excellent at the start. A fumble by Ridley. That's no good. Kick by Armstrong to the forward pocket. Stevens did well. He'll take a free kick anyway, but took the mark against O'Reilly. And Stevens getting a pat on the back from a teammate. Mark Stevens, a teenager, a 19-year-old.
There's a free kick here. We'll see it in just a moment.
Expensive
there's a free
Ridley.
kick by Ridley. He's been paid down the ground. But North Melbourne really tackling hard. It was interesting bringing that ball up the ground. The tackling was terrific by North Melbourne.
Only about 25 metres out from goal. Stevens for his first. Gets it. Great start for North.
Well, he's obviously a very good kick, Don, with those statistics, and his point today has been a poster. Look at that thump there by Capuano. Goes 40 metres down to Carey. Quick hands. Been intercepted there. Muir for Fremantle. Archer applies the tackle. Kicked off the ground by McKernan. Chance for Allen. Overruns the ball. Stevens. Great vision to Carey. Should kick a goal. He has. And North Melbourne really throwing down the gauntlet now to Fremantle.
And they're fired up. The bounce down first off Capuano's big thump out. The tackling is also an indication of how they're souped up, North Melbourne. Off the ground by McKernan. Good fumble there by Allen. That's unfamiliar for Allen. Experienced player, usually sure in handling the ball. But it started at the centre. What can happen this time?
Umpire Matthew Norton, a youngster in the umpiring fraternity, bounces, comes to Rock. His kick up towards half forward. Kickett has been a good defender, but there's been plenty of the ball on the half back line for the Dockers. Round the corner he goes to Allen, and the skipper takes the mark. Best and fairest in a premiership year with Hawthorn. But they're under siege at the moment. 4-2 to 1-1, North in front. Kicked by Allen to half forward. Burrows a good lead. Man juggles it, takes the mark. Had a fantastic year last year for North Melbourne. The kick by Peter Mann to full forward. Hutton just gets there second.
Good effort by Swash too, because he didn't see Hutton coming.
King went in with a crunching tackle.
There's a couple of players down behind Drew on the 50-metre line. The clash of heads. Laidley's one.
Mann's kick is marked by Schwass. Wayne Schwass going for the bounce.
Not too good at all. And the other is Waters.
Excellent mark by Campbell, taken on the outer wing.
Waters on his feet. But Laidley still just getting to his feet with the assistance of trainers.
Here's Carey, just outside the 50. With a step and a half break on Jones. Laidley not looking too good. A centering kick by Carey. Archer takes the mark right in front and about 30 metres from goal.
He was an excellent player last week, Archer. Until last week, his form really had been down.
I think he plays better on the forward line. Don, what do you think?
Well, yeah, he's a forward or back. I suppose you've got to have versatility, Kevin, but he played forward the last 2 weeks. He kicked 3 goals last week.
I can remember him kicking 5 goals against the Eagles here in a night game. And
he's a fearsome defender too, because he's run straight at the ball. He's not afraid to put his body in.
Well, here's Glenn Archer going for goal. He should get it. And does. Top start by North. I'm not sure what this breeze is worth, but whatever there is, North are going into it, and they lead 32-7.
Well, just looking at the windsock, Drew, I don't think it really means much, but this is where the 2 players got injured behind play. Laidley down, and also Waters. Now, both are on their feet, and both of them are good, which is terrific, but obviously they both have headaches. There's Laidley. He's a tough nut.
He's got Durkay, who really has to be watched.
well, Capuano thumped the last ball out of the centre bounce 40 metres. He's up against Spider Burton. Can he do it again? Not this time. Neither got their hands to the ball. Quick kick by Delaney, inside 50. Waters has recovered from that head injury. Kicked off the ground by North Melbourne by Anderson, playing only his 2nd game for the year. Well, a throw-in, 35 metres around from Fremantle's goal.
Good player last week, Anderson, 22 possessions on debut.
So Burrows in the ruck for Fremantle against Fairley. Fairley just grabs it out. Good kick, good defensive play. King knocks the ball to the front, and Stevens' kick goes over on the full. Big Spider's keen to get a touch of the Sharon. He's got a lead on from Hutton. Ignores that. So he just kicks a high ball. So it's in the territory of Burrows. In the front of the pack was Mann. Ground level Stevens, been a fantastic worker for North Melbourne. Caught high for mine. Anderson with quick hands, comes back out to Ross Smith. And his kick under pressure also goes out on the full. So Spider Burton having a picnic out here.
Winning kicks from free kicks.
Just keep kicking them out on the full. They'll keep kicking them back.
They do this well. There's a real hole there when they go forward.
So chance for Man. Good punch away by Swash over the top.
And it's a good idea because it allows your forwards to lead into space, and they do that well, the Dockers.
Chisholm still getting work on his back. Fine and cool, currently 16, expected top 17. Overnight it was 1.3 at 7:15. The coldest morning in June for 40 years in Perth. The whistle's gone just as Muir was going for goal. No score on that. And the umpire's going to ball it up, is he?
It's an interesting one. Martin on Man. Man playing at centre half forward. You don't usually see Michael Martin so far up the ground. He's very fit, Michael Martin, nonetheless.
Ball in the hands of umpire Norden. Doesn't throw it down. He throws it up in the air. Still a bit spongy here at Subiaco Oval since the resurfacing. Martin under heaps of pressure. Gets the ball out. And King sees the ball over the boundary line with Madigan.
I was talking with one of the horticultural experts before the game, and he said the standard right throughout Australia is to cut the grass 20 millimetres. At Subiaco, 17 millimetres, so we can get a bit of bounce into the ground.
Beautiful.
National Sportsbook, 7-4 on North Melbourne. Fremantle, 5-4. So working hard once more down there at ground level. Picked up by Burrows. Should kick a goal here. Scotty Waters, he has. Listen to the roar here at Subiaco. Has gone off, and Andrew Wills has come on for Fremantle. Played every game for the Cats last year.
Back in the middle. Neither ruckman this time. Delaney farms the ball back to kick it. Touched off the boot. The umpire's paid a free kick. It's coming back to kick it to Delaney. And Tony Delaney, still a teenager. He debuted as a 16-year-old with Essendon. High ball towards the 50. Bit of wrestling going on between Man and Martin. Down goes Callaghan, number 42, with the socks down. Durkay shrugs a tackle. Well done by Armstrong. In there, fighting hard for it. He was over it for a while, but the umpire will ball it up. And the Fremantle fans reckon there was a free in there.
They're very disciplined, the Fremantle forwards. They're both flankers out wide, allowing Martin room to move, and also Hutton at full forward room to move. Now the change is made. Martin's gone to full back. Ross Smith's coming up the ground.
So North Melbourne by 19 points. Laley dragged to the ground there by Wills.
Well, they're not happy with the free kicks, the crowd, but the free kick count is 3-all.
So Laley kicks out wide. His target here was King, but reading it well there is Ben Allen. As Don Scott said before, a premiership player, best and fairest winner with Hawthorn. He's got great vision. Here's Wills. Now, can he kick a goal? On the run, he's well off target. And out on the full. So McMartin to bring the ball back into play.
Ross Smith now got the job on Wills.
He's kicked 14 goals for the season, Andrew Wills. Has started many games on the interchange bench. So Roberts just on the ground also for North Melbourne. Start on the bench. Rock, who's got the big job today, playing on Delaney. Taken here by King. So Carey's going to be the target. Always takes the front position. Good roving here by McKernan. Big pack of players and a ball up.
A lot of space for which the two forwards starting in the square for North Melbourne can work. Everybody is out of the semicircle, a 50-metre semicircle.
Roberts took clean possession. He's in the ruck now, having replaced Capuano off the bench. Kick it goes across the half-back line. This could be dangerous. And well done by Mildenhall to get back and help out. Hand pass is bad, though. And a chance here for North. Round the corner by Rock, close to the boundary line, and Allison's having a good time down there and takes the mark in front. He's already kicked 2.
Allison Stevens are the two fellows that start in the goal square. They clean the 50-metre semicircle out, give them plenty of room in which to lead.
5-2 to 2 goals won, North in front. And Brett Allison going for goal from the boundary line. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Left foot opens the angle a bit, just across the face of goals. And over for a behind.
There's Brett Allison. Real live wire. Took a terrific mark a couple of years back, the mark of the year. We see Todd Ridley to bring the ball back into play. Always remember his first game of league football. I was coaching Richmond at the time. He kicked 4 goals. the Bombers on that day. So punched away here by Carey at ground
Carey's
level.
hurt himself too after that punch down. I think he's done his shoulder.
So McManus there gets the ball back to the centre of the ground. Picked up by Stevens, gives it across to Blakey. So they're working it along the outer side of the ground where we see Rock gives it across to Swash. He wants to come back on this trusty left boot.
Carey's up.
So here he is. He's up all right. Now flying for the mark.
No, he's holding that shoulder. He's still favouring that shoulder.
Chance for Armstrong. Gets great vision there. Gives it across to Stevens. Just tried to weave his way through. It's been caught without the ball. Says umpire Mark Westgar. So Anthony Stevens, he doesn't kick a lot of goals in league football, is lining up from 45 metres out.
Every trainer from all over the place has come to look after Wayne Carey. Here he goes with an attempted punch away, and I reckon he's landed right on the point of that shoulder.
He got up, Drew. He's still favouring it.
So Stevens he's only kicked 43 goals in 98 games. Can he make it number 44? He can.
Well, quickly is the way that Fremantle do move the ball, and that's one of their greatest assets.
Well, they're keeping the front end of the square open too at these bounce downs. Flank goes on either point of the square and the centre left open.
And Carey once again starting this quarter in the middle four for the ball up. Later in the first quarter he moved out to a truer centre half forward position. Burton didn't get near that one, and the ball is knocked out by Capuano. Allen tries to go off the ground, gets bowled over right in the centre circle. Little hand pass comes back to Rock. North Melbourne go forward again. Campbell flips the ball over his head for Anthony Stevens. Ridley back there to close the gap on him. Clever kick round the corner by Stevens. Kick it, prominent early. Madigan. Good little trap by Campbell. Stevens a short pass, missed the target though. And a chance for Archer. Charging straight ahead, Glenn Archer. Ball saying the crowd, but no whistle on the play. A soccer by Archer, and it slews out in the forward pocket, and we'll have a boundary throw. This crowd not happy with the umpires, you could say that.
That's a fair comment. So Burton wins the tap, too tall. Chance for Allison. Just tries the trips to lights, fantastic there, and hits the post. That's the point post, so the free kick will go to O'Reilly of the Dockers. Big Burton's out wide. He's got McKernan there, so they're going to contest this high ball. Back of the pack there, Ben Allen. King's there for North Melbourne. Allen traps it well, just over the line. Let's go down to Dwayne Lamb with a report on Scotty Chisholm.
Yeah, just quickly, he's got a slight hamstring strain to his right leg, and which is back-related, so he may take further part in the game.
Well, he's a big loss to Fremantle. His form this year has been just so exciting, running the ball out of defence. And Jared Neesham at quarter time through Dwayne Lamb said that tack the ball, play your own game. There he is there on screen. He is a big loss to Fremantle.
Didn't last long, did he? He'd had one kick.
Yes, first 5 minutes of the game. Mildenhall couldn't take it. Picked up by King of North Melbourne. Stevens in front there. Got his hands to it, just couldn't hide. Jones there, crashed to the ground, picked up by Leach. Quick hands out to Madigan. He's got to get it going quickly. Didn't find Mildenhall, put him under fierce pressure. King in the pocket. Puts it back to Jones. Now he can give the ball off, elects to kick the ball. That's his first kick. Playing on Wayne Carey. Capuano couldn't take it. Archer. Carey over the top. McKernan at ground level. Allen there. They thought that was a free kick. Burton does well to pick the ball up. Armstrong's been besieged upon. Chance now. Free kick's been paid. At long last, says the Docker fans, it's going to us.
Greg Madigan to take it from halfback for the Dockers. Well, it hasn't been a typical game so far. There's not too many spaces on Subiaco Oval this afternoon. It's been in pretty tight. Here's Waters. Now some spaces opening up. He'll run and carry it. Kicked by Scott Waters. Inside centre half forward. Hutton works to the front. Martin with him. It gets to the back. Smith. Perfect pass. Capuano and Schwass going past him. The hand pass over the head of Stevens. Laidley back to Schwass, who kept on going. But some of their skills are just letting them down at the moment. A few missed the target there. Allen. Comes out wide. Here's McManus. And he does seem to be able to find some space. On the 3 occasions I've seen him, kicked by McManus. Hutton and Martin. Laidley concedes some ground. Back to Anderson. Wide for Armstrong, who had a good first quarter with 8 possessions. Turns his man inside out, Waters. Didn't quite get away. Waters good enough to lay a hand on him. He's still there, Scotty Waters. The short pass in, and Durkee takes the mark. He's 70 metres from goal. Too far out to score. A lead by Mann.
Oh, would they do it well? I'm impressed with their forward line. They're very disciplined. Their flankers stay wide, giving the centre-half forward and the full forward space in which to lead, and that's how that ball came up then for Mann.
Well, Peter Mann, I was interested to read that it's the first time in his career he's been able to string 10 games together. Normally injury, and now he's into his 11th, but normally injury.
A lot of injuries at North Melbourne.
This kick by Mann won't quite make it. Some height down there with Burton, but he couldn't take the mark. The hand pass came in from Callaghan to Delaney. Round the corner. This is pretty close. Oh, what a goal.
Well, Capuano versus Burton. Capuano's been superb at centre bounce. Burton this time wins. Delaney again. Arguably best man on the ground so far. Kicked off the ground by King out wide. It's going to be Carey over the line, as well as Jones.
Interesting that Carey didn't start in the centre for that bounce down. He was deep in the forward pocket.
Talking about Peter Mann before, I think he broke his leg in his first season at North Melbourne, Don.
He had a lot of niggling little injuries. He just couldn't put it together.
So ground level, Waters, who's having a good battle today with Armstrong. So Delaney once more, racking up the possessions. Chance for Capuano. Does well to get the ball back. Off the ground by Anderson. Here comes Kickett. He's been caught.
Great
Terrific tackle by Archer. Delaney once more. It's gone short. It's a poor option.
It's a feature of the game today from both sides. The tackling as Rock goes off, and coming on Robert Scott for North Melbourne. Going straight onto the ball is Robert Scott.
Delaney, 10 kicks, 2 handballs and 2 goals.
Well, Rock has had the job on Delaney from the start of the game. So we see Blakey over the top, just thumps it back over the line. So he's been such an instrumental player so far in this game, Delaney, that Dennis Pagan had to make that move. It's interesting he's put Robert Scott there. Maybe King, who's a very vigorous player, might be the sort of player, and he's got a lot of pace that might upset someone like Delaney. So coming away, that's Anderson.
Oh, he's pushed out, surely. Yes, the umpire spotted that against Kickett.
So Archer, terrific last week against the Bombers, kicked 3 goals, kicked a goal today, but that one has been intercepted there by Madigan. They're looking a little bit better, Fremantle. Got a loose player out wide, Quentin Leach. Runner up in the Sandover medal last year. Kicks the ball to space, so O'Reilly running with a flight. It's amazing, Don, the number of runs he's had this year as a full-back. He didn't show that skill at Geelong.
No, not at all. And in actual fact, early in his career, it took a while to get to the pace of AFL football, but he came and adapted last year. Now he's added that other dimension to his game.
So he kicks just long into the forward line. Chance for Waters. Can he keep the ball in? He does. Gets it back to Mildenhall. He has won a Sandover medal. Ooh. Back to Swash. Read it well. Callaghan just didn't take it. So Swash is off. He's got the foot flat to the accelerator. Chance to Carey to mark in front. Does so. It's been done good today again, Carey. He's got the lead on. Archer's the target. He's got it.
It was a good lead by Archer because he's got Kickett. He feinted to the right. And then just at the critical moment when Kickett looked over his right shoulder to spot Archer, he'd gone. And Carey spotted him. Good play. McKernan and Carey playing across that half-forward line for North.
It's a great lesson to kids there, Don. Kick the ball so the player can actually run onto the ball, not having to change stride. Too many players kick it too far, and the player's got to stop, and therefore he's a sitting duck for the player coming from behind. So this is across the face of goals. Right across the face of goals, in fact, and out on the full.
It's disappointing when that happens because the guys down the ground work hard. Anderson delivered that ball well from a hand pass from Robert Scott to Carey, and then Archer just mucked it up.
Ridley's kick into O'Reilly. Coming across the ground. He's done it all right this time to Leach. Now Archer's left Kickett, and the kick's too far for Kickett, and the ball goes out. Dale Kickett. just in front of him, so we'll have a boundary throw.
He doesn't mind backing himself, Leach, I should say.
So a boundary throw in at half forward for North. Oh, McKernan gets it back too from Armstrong. Stevens back to Armstrong. Going all right, Matthew Armstrong. Long kick to the goal square. Carey is there. Well, plenty of Dockers as well. O'Reilly takes the mark.
He's been very good, O'Reilly. Picks it up. There's Leach. Western Fares for Claremont. Comes away. And out wide, he's got Mildenhall. Originally from Traralgon, Victoria. So he plays it over the top to Callaghan. Western Fares for Swan Districts in his first year, but the kick's a shocker. Capuano's been terrific today, Don. You would have loved him in the run.
Yes, he's got a great lead, Kevin. He showed great mobility and speed when he chased the ball across half-back earlier.
Swash has been good.
There's a North Melbourne player down in the square.
Spider Burton just ambles to the ball, then doesn't know what to do with it. Taken by Jones. He's got a short on wide. It's the skipper.
Looked like it's Armstrong. He got a whack in the hip. He's up, though, but he's not travelling too well.
Llewellyn kicks the ball long. Punched away by Martin at ground level, taken by Muir. Does well to keep the ball in. Terrific mark down there by Ross Smith. Mr. Dependable. Campbell
off. Delanchenko coming on for North Melbourne.
Ross Smith just passed the 200 game mark this season. To Blakey, to Scott. Through half-back goes Robert Scott. Bird of a fumble. Here comes Spider. And well done by Callaghan, who threw himself in there very hard, number 42.
Robert Scott probably didn't realise they'd mowed the grass today to 17 millimetres. That's what
right. He
causing the problem.
Hadn't been speaking to your horticulturalist. Big pack around this. The umpire throws it up rather than balling it up. Burton wins the hit out. Mann applies a tackle. Down goes Durkee. And once again, the umpire will have to come in and ball it up. It's 6-3 to 4-1. The Dockers have made a bit of a comeback in this quarter. In fact, there hasn't been much happening on the scoreboard. They've kicked the only goal of the quarter to narrow the gap to 14 points. Just cannot get the ball out. At the back of the pack, Blakey. Danilchenko just on the ground. Gains about 25 metres.
It's a good play under the circumstances, Drew. Nobody down offering an option.
Danilchenko there, and we see the interchange bench. Quentin Leach there on the bench with
John Hutton, the helmet.
With, Wolf was there, the Wolf man. It was Hutton there, not Leach.
We just didn't know what he looked like without a helmet on, did we?
No, he looks like an armadillo when he's on the field. It's been a great comeback by John Hutton. He's booted 20 goals playing for Fremantle after starting with Brisbane to Sydney and then playing virtual. Look at Ridley up over the top there. That's a free kick to McKernan. And a good pick-up by Neesham for him to do okay. He's played a role, not going so well today. So we see here Ridley up there. You can see him right over the top of McKernan interfering. So Corey McKernan. He's looking for Carey. He's got space to run onto the ball. Jones is with him. Front of the pack was Allen. Armstrong's got a chance to throw it onto the boot. Needs a kind bounce. Capuano back to Allison. He's already booted 2 goals. Can't handle it this time. Swash crashes into McManus. Look at him go. This is a dangerous ball for Fremantle. Carey, Archer can kick it off the ground. And he does for a goal.
So the margin back to 20 points, which was the quarter-time margin. They've kicked just a goal each in this second quarter. Not much happening on the scoreboard. Ooh, the hand pass went defensively. It was grabbed by King. Up to Archer, who can't quite take the mark on Kickett. He doubles back for it from the pocket. Kickett did well to close the gap. Oh, well done by Dale Kickett. Brilliant football. Brilliant football. Allen's there underneath it, and a dive by Schwass, and he takes the mark at right half forward for North. 45 to 25. North Melbourne leading during the second quarter at Subiaco Oval. Kick by Schwass. Right to full forward. Carey's there, uses his body. Arms and body, and a mark.
It's going to cause trouble if they're going to have just one-on-one with Carey. They've got to get someone else down there to give some support to Jones, Don.
And also, look how interesting it is that there's a hole in which they can kick the ball. Now, Fremantle are doing it, and likewise North Melbourne, and you really got to block those holes up.
Wayne Carey has kicked a goal already, lining up for his second. And gets it. Pretty decent break now.
It was very quick, Carey, standing with O'Reilly, but then just quickly pushed him out. Here's the kick from Schwass. Just watch Carey, look, quickly out and took the mark.
Gee, it's a tough job on Jones.
Jones, I should have said. I said O'Reilly.
Kid's played one season with Claremont, half a season with the Dockers, and he gets the best player in the competition.
Well, Capuano's been just great out of the centre bounces, going for the big thump. Wins a tap. It's been sharked this time by Waters. And umpire Matthew Norden is going to bounce. Just a tap on the backside there from Armstrong. With encouragement. Keep going, son. Beats Burrows again. Ground level. Armstrong. Quick kick. Down there by Scott. And this man again. Wayne Carey.
Well done, wasn't it? Armstrong quickly to Scott, and Scott in turn quickly to Carey.
Always plays in front.
And here it is, Armstrong, Scott, normally a right foot kick, bang onto the left foot. Quickly down to the forward line. That's the way a forward likes the ball, get a little bit quickly into the forward line so they can get the advantage.
Doesn't miss too many, Don.
Carey 3 goals, 57 to 25. Hutton's back on the ground for North, replacing Mildenhall. Here goes Scott Waters. Back to Madigan. Waters again. Great hand pass, and he laid it like an egg, but he comes back to get it. Hand pass wide for Muir. A little bit slow, floats it to Waters. Once again under pressure. He has to go towards the boundary line. Taken over by Danilchenko, and we'll have a throw in.
Putting them under a lot of pressure, North Melbourne, with their tackling. And that situation was a 3-on-2.
Warren Campbell there sitting on the bench for North Melbourne.
Roberts is also there. And Craig Scholl, interesting, he's the emergency. Didn't get a start in the 21. A state player at this time last year. Madigan. Ridley, he goes to ground. Ball flipped up to Blakey. Not much distance, plenty of height with the kick. It's thumped to the front, comes to Scott. His little left footer into space for Carey. Well, courage shown by Kickett. And any other player but Carey could have taken him right out then too. It's still there for North. Off the ground, Archer. Pulled off his kick. It might score a goal anyway, and does. Archer's kick 3.
Well, it's a scrappy game, but it's full of intensity. It's certainly putting the pressure on North Melbourne. The ball's not delivered in any particular fashion. It's more or less centred by Scott from out there, and it's well done by Kickett. He's a much improved player, Kickett. I think he had this in him when he's been at 3 or 4 clubs already. He never showed it. Showed he always had ability. He's added a bit of desperation to his game, and Archer, who's come up once again with a goal, his 3rd.
I think Nishima would have been very disappointed with his players there not getting across and helping Kickett, who had 3 to beat for a long time. So a kick out of the centre, Carey there. Jones this time gets his hands the ball, wins it.
So this is where he's quick.
There he is quick. He's had a bounce. He's off and running. It's like the road runner. Smith, always good in defence. Anderson, first game last week for the year. Gets it back to Smith. So they got the loose player set up by King. Gives it back to Laidley. So Carey's always the target. Too tall, too strong, too good.
I don't know what they're going to do about it. They've got to do something because he's just too big for Jones.
So Armstrong onto the left boot. And we've got a whistle here. And it's got to come back.
Well, I just wonder what constitutes a beating. Carey's taken 5 marks, had 8 kicks and kicked 3 goals. How long can it continue?
Well, I'll maybe look at Burrows to get him down there. He's an athletic type of fellow. He's big. He can jump. Stevens coming off the ground for North Melbourne.
So Spider Burton does the roving. Comes away. Gives it back to Muir. Has to kick hurriedly. Durkay's out wide, but he had 2 to beat at ground level. That's hard. So Smith chips it across to Armstrong, starting now to rack up some possessions. Corey McKernan out in front.
Good mark, Corey McKernan. Mark Stevens it was that went off, not Anthony Stevens for North Melbourne. McKernan well within kicking distance. Centering the ball once again. Dragging, you can see that, dragging it back. It's obvious a ploy at North Melbourne. Bring it in when you're out wide.
Well, the back line's under a lot of pressure for Fremantle. The game's really being played from the centre of the ground down to North Melbourne's forward line. So McKernan from 40 metres out ran very close to the man on the mark. So there's a lesson for kids. Give yourself plenty of space and you don't have to lift your head. Get the ball over the man standing in front of you. So O'Reilly goes short. Oh, kick it, drops a sitter. Now they're under pressure. Could have been holding the man there to North Melbourne. Rock wanted it. Still more fumbles, this time by O'Reilly. If Basil Faulty was calling, he would say orally. And that's how it was. It was orally played.
Well, they've got the jitters. They've had only one bad belting this year. It was from the Eagles, but they look as though they might be heading for another one here today unless they can improve their game. Armstrong just gets the hand pass clear. Scott palms it down. Archer's gone at it hard on the forward line, but this kick floating out of bounds on the full.
It's the value of Archer is running hard and straight.
Ben Archer,
I just think he's good on the forward line, Don, because he's a very strong mark for his size. Can kick a goal, even though he does can be a pinch hitter in defence and do okay. I just feel that that's his position on the forward line.
Well, he's done it the last 2 weeks and played all right.
The kick into play just outside the 50. Burton with the height. Good punch down by Fairley. He gains about 20 metres there and will have a throw in. We're in the last 4 minutes of the first half and it's North 64, Fremantle 25. The Dockers struggling at the moment. McKernan in ruck against Burton. Burton got a hand to it, but couldn't find a teammate. Eventually O'Reilly. Delaney's been a shining light, though, for the Dockers with his 2 goals. And here goes with his pace, running and holding the ball. He gets it back from Kickett. Delaney once more, up to the centre of the ground. All North Melbourne here. And that was a disappointing finish to what started well. And the mark taken by Stuart Anderson.
So he goes back towards centre-half forward. Armstrong mark, still inside the centre square.
Allison coming off. Stevens, Roberts on for North.
Kicked a couple of goals, Brett Allison, but over the top, big spider Burton. That's what's got to happen. He's got to get back there, give a bit of height there to this marking power of North Melbourne's forward line.
They're blazing away, aren't they, when they come out of half-back Fremantle, and it's easy to be cut off as they're doing now with Capuano.
Well, we've got to give some credit to the North Melbourne forwards for the pressure they're putting on down there.
The tackling's been terrific. The value of tackling is that if you lay a few early, the opposition think you are going to tackle them every instant they get the ball. Consequently, they've got to get their foot quickly to the ball or hand the ball. It usually causes a turnover.
Yes, referred pressure as Capuano. There's a free kick surely to North Melbourne. McKernan still took the mark. There's a size difference there, Ridley against McKernan. It's been terrific, Capuano.
And there is McKernan. Did well in his first game in the under-19s for North Melbourne.
So yet to kick a goal.
Drew.
Look at that, a 46-point lead to North Melbourne going into the second half. We get underway. And head down comes to Stevens, but socket out of the air by Allen. Durkay with his great pace. Good pick-up by King. Allen beaten to the ball. Blakey got it out, but now the Dockers have it. Waters stolen by Armstrong. Armstrong back in again, applying the pressure. Laidley up towards the 50. Here's Carey with Jones, and he beats him again. And Wayne Carey takes his 8th mark. Dumps it up to full forward. At the back, that is a mark to Archer.
Well, he really did have to make that mark, Archer, because nobody was running down to assist him. It's a one-out situation, and to clean up, well, Fremantle would have had that ball come to ground. So it was a great effort under the circumstances. He didn't realise that he wasn't going to get any assistance. But the way they just pushed this ball down from half-back was an untidy kick from Laidley out of a pack. But North Melbourne really harassing the Fremantle side, and Carey once again in front, sending it Archer's way.
Glenn Archer coming into today had kicked only 6 goals this season, but he's lining up for his 4th today. Distance no problem, gets the goal. And that's exactly what the Dockers didn't need at the start of the second half. 77-25.
It was a good mark too, because he was behind a much taller opponent, Archer. There's the build-up once again. Now, Carey hurt his shoulder in the first quarter, but he seems to be all right now. You see, they're just maybe better timing. Maybe a little taller than what Archer is.
So Wolf is back in the ruck for Fremantle. Spent most of the first half on the interchange bench. Capuano beat him decisively early. Quick kick there. McKernan tries to take a one-hander. Kickett, who hasn't really handled the ball that cleanly today. Ben Allen gives it across to Jones. Picks his option in Delaney, who's been a very good player. Had Rock taken from the field. He just loves to have a bounce. Kicks it long. Now they've got Burton down there. It's going to be short there over the top. Good punch way by Anning. Mick Martin there. Just couldn't handle the ball. Terrific player, Delaney. Is very, very exciting. I can see one day bowling very well in the Brownlow medal, Don, because he hangs onto the ball and carries it and gives the umpires.
It's a little bit disconcerting, I'd say, for a forward. I'd like to really know what the forwards think, because you don't know when he's going to let it go.
So Capuano there, and the ball just skids over the line.
Certainly played well today on that wing. Kicked goals.
Well, he spent 2 years at Essendon. He went there as a 16-year-old. So, I mean, he's just so young in the game. I think he's a very exciting prospect. Mick Martin reads it off Spider Burton, and he just kicks it back to that centre square. Campbell there, punched away by Ridley. Muir, former North Melbourne Reserves player, dragged to the ground, and we've got a ball up.
It was ambitious Muir. So did he take them on?
Been given another chance by Gerard Neesham. Had a season with the Eagles, a season with North Melbourne, delisted by both. Here's Allen. The kick inside the 50. Hutton, a very good mark out in front of his face. A spell on the bench in the first half. He's back out there in the helmet. And John Hutton, who can roost a ball.
He's a good player, Hutton. He's got a lot of football now. It's just a pity he wasn't just a little bit bigger, or maybe a little faster, so he could play a flank.
Hutton from just outside the 50. Raking kick for goal. A beauty.
So Hutton also spent some time on the interchange bench in that first half, along with Wolf, who's beaten this time by Capuano. So North Melbourne out of the square. Jones has been there all day. Here's Leach. Does it well. Hand pass is poor. Didn't hit the target. Good hands by Waters. Gives it back to Jones. Chance for Burrows. Hasn't done anything today.
If the game was close, it'd be an interesting battle between Jones and Carey. You can see the value of Jones. The last couple of times they've gone forward, Jones has run away from Carey, and this time he's set it up because of his run. And Burrows taking a good overhead mark.
Well, he's booted 11 goals for the year. This kick's a wobbly one and has floated through for a point. I think you've still got to look at Carey's game, Don, with him absolutely dominating. He's taken 8 marks, he's had 11 kicks and 2 handballs, and he's also booted goals.
Delanchenko's been taken off the ground after that mark by Burrows, and Roberts has gone on to pick Burrows up.
So chance for Swash off this half-back flank. Pushes it, kicks the ball. Did well to keep it in play. Capuano there. Burrows at the back of the pack to Wolf. Back to Delaney. Shades of Baryshnikov there. Just danced around them all. Muir there. Sharon wooden stick. McManus with quick hands. Gets it back to Durkay. He is quick. He's got vision here. Man should mark.
Well.
There are some signs here. They got themselves 52 points behind, but just in the last 2 or 3 minutes, some signs that maybe the Dockers are coming back a bit.
Well, it wasn't this clever play. Great play there by Delaney to get himself out of a lot of trouble. But the way they set it up again, here he is, Durkay, not having a shot, but finding there's 2 guys, well, 3 actually.
And popped through there by Peterman. So he kicks his first goal.
Well, this is his 50th game, Peter Mann. He's taken a while to get to those 50 games, mainly through injury, but he had an excellent day last week. 5 goals, 16 kicks and 8 hand passes. A great effort. Up forward, and here he is. Hutton could have taken it.
And the crowd starting to find some voice now for the Dockers. Wasn't much to shout about for the first hour and a bit. Ball up in the middle. Capuano gets it out of there, but not cleanly. Anthony Stevens.
That's interesting. I thought he kept his elbow down. He's given it too high. The umpire on King.
And the free kick to Ben Allen. Up towards the 50. Man in front of Fairley. Gets to the bank.
Yes, good
free
decision,
kick.
umpire. Against Fairley. Interference with Man.
Free kicks now 8-7 in favour of Freo. And Peter Mann, with his very best, I suppose he could kick it. Hutton might get it. We'll just have to see with Peter Mann. They need one here. Plenty of height, not the distance, but there's plenty of height with Burton. Oh, I don't think he had first touch. Play on. The umpire agreed with me. Crowd doesn't. The ball's still there to be won. Schwass gets it out, and Armstrong hacks the ball out of defence, close to the boundary line, and it's out of bounds. No, I don't think Spider got first touch there.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yes, he did. That was a clean mark. So Wolf pushing and shoving with Capuano. Here's a chance for Durkee. Very exciting player, but another miss for the Fremantle side. You're right, though. They have gone up a notch, Drew, since they've come out. Obviously, Jared Neesham has laid down the law because they're a lot more bouncier, Don. And
Scott Waters adding a lot of assistance behind that, allowing Durkee to go in. He was laying some really good shepherds behind.
So Stevens, who has had the job on Ben Allen all day, kicks up to Capuano. That's a good mark.
It's not bad for a youngster, this fellow.
So McKernan there, and also Kerry. He elects to go to Carey, punches the ball away. King can't keep it in. Cop one there from Jones. So Carey's booted 3 goals. He's taken 8 marks. He's had 11 kicks. Allen, the bottom of the pack for Fremantle. Burrowing also in for North Melbourne. And good strong play is Campbell. So Peter Mann getting a message from the runner. So we see Corey McKernan sharked here by Waters. Terrific vision, gets it out towards the skipper Allen. They've had trouble handling the ball today, Fremantle. Has to kick on his left boot. Chance now for out here is Wills. 3 against 1. Hard to win out. Good play there. Good bump picked up by Burrows. The kick's well off target. Out of bounds on the full.
77 plays 39. A 38-point lead to North Melbourne. One stage it got to 52 points. McMartin takes the free kick. Capuano. Excellent mark to the 19-year-old.
A great leap for a big fellow.
Playing just his 14th game of AFL football. He's kicked towards centre wing. Carey out number 2 to 1. Oh, good mark. Well done by Jones. Good on you, son. He jumped over a champ then and took his first mark. Jones from centre wing. Up towards the 50. Capuano again, and Mann, no mark. Wills gets it going forward for the Dockers. Hutton, good use of the body. Well done by Wills to get in there over it. Laidley, buried by McManus, and the umpire will ball it up. Have a look at the mark by Jones over Carey. Beauty.
So Burton gets his hands to the ball, taken by Fairley. Playing in front, good play here by
That's what
Scott.
they're doing, North Melbourne, aren't they? Playing in front, because that quick kick that comes out, you always can take advantage of it. That's the situation.
Well, most quick kicks out of the packs, kicking around your body, always drop short. Centre of the ground. Archer hooks the ball back, and O'Reilly takes the mark. Now, he had Allen out wide, but Stevens did very well to get across, but another loose player is Quentin Leach. He's a runner from half-back. I haven't really seen him doing a lot of running today. Here's the Wolfman. He's got to come back to Leach. Does a bit of twisting and turning. He's got Leach into a bit of trouble. He'll go short. Now he balks again. Great tackling by North Melbourne. Put Fremantle under fierce pressure. Campbell tried to crash his way through. Archer, this could open up the play because Carey's there at centre-half forward. Got 2 to beat again. At ground level, Stevens just pushes away, kick it. Got a chance, go to the open spaces. He finds Swash. So no one in the square for North Melbourne. McKernan's on a lead. Carey's now drifting down. Scott also makes a lead. But Swash, I think, fancies his chances. He's going to try and run around Ridley. Has to kick on the right boot. So here's a mark and duel in the square. And this man, Carey's come over the top, and there's a push.
No, that's good umpiring. Against McKernan. It's great to see the umpire starting to pay a lot of these frees.
You're suggesting they haven't been paying him,
My word, they haven't in the past.
Shocking kick there by O'Reilly. Swash just didn't quite take it. Chance now for a quick snap by Allison into the pocket. Pretty vocal crowd here at Fremantle. They really get into the game.
I think they're anti-North.
They might be anti-everyone, but they're very vocal.
Anti-Victoria.
Terrific to see.
Carey clean possession. Couldn't get boot to ball, though. Back he goes. That's not a bad snap there by Campbell. No, across the face of goal and out of bounds. Finished up out of bounds on the full. I reckon, Scotty, your ideal game of football will be 100 free kicks.
100 what?
Free kicks. The number of free kicks you would have paid in various
they've
situations.
got to clean this game up. These players don't use their bodies now. They use their hands, and they infringe each time they go for the ball.
Oh, it's an excellent mark taken out there by Schwass. Gee, your perfect game would be clean, but wouldn't get going. Blakey. Carey. Not quite. Was he holding it? No. Delaney. They're cornered back here, but he does well to find some space. Fancy finding space in the goal square. O'Reilly. Oh, Madigan just gets out of trouble. Goes for a confident bounce. Run and carry game of the Dockers. The hand pass is perfect. Waters in the centre square. Tucks it under the armpit. Scotty Waters kicked to half forward. Burrows. Roberts gets the ball away from him. At the back of him, Anderson. Perfect disposal to Armstrong, who's approaching 30 possessions. Stevens. Armstrong gets it back. Another one for Armstrong. He's kicked to centre half forward, and the mark is taken by Archer. Carey doubles back to the goal square. One out with Jones. Carey, no mark. Still a chance, though. The ball pinned to him.
Which way would you have paid it, Kevin?
I would have paid the free kick to Carey.
And the umpire has.
Carey had his eyes on the ball.
We'll watch this in replay. In actual fact, he has paid it.
So Wayne Carey will be lining up for his 4th goal. 1 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, and now looking for his 4th goal for the match. And those stats are pretty impressive. Coming up for his 12th kick. Early stages, 3rd quarter. Crowd hooting and booing. Certain goal, and he gets it.
And Allison has just come off the ground and rock on for North Melbourne. Wayne Carey, undoubtedly the best goal-kicking centre-half forward in the history of the game. Armstrong, quick kick out of the centre. Now there's a free kick being played to North Melbourne.
Jones kick it.
And Rock will take it. There's one of the most unusual tattoos, Bart Simpson on his backside. So Carey once more, over the top is Leach, couldn't take it. Scott burrowing hard back to King. Snaps off target. And a free kick out of bounds on the full will go to Fremantle.
Campbell off and Stevens coming on. That's Mark Stevens coming on for North.
How do you know what tattoos he's got where?
That's a trivia question for you, Drew.
I'd like to know how you got the evidence.
So Jones kicks out. He's looking here for Scotty Waters, who's been a terrific battler today. He's had 17 possessions. Down to Mann, just waited for the ball. Working in numbers, North Melbourne been terrific today. Plenty of support. Armstrong once more kicks down to centre-half forward. Chance for Rock. Just dribbles it around the corner. Jones should get there first. bit of support, bit of shepherding. Robert Wall says the Fremantle side cheats with their shepherding, protection of the player with the ball.
Did he actually use the word? Did he use the word cheats?
I think he did.
Pretty strong, isn't it?
I read an article where Robert said he doesn't think he's going to get a Christmas card from Jared. It was a bit critical of Robert there. So Delaney, who's been the Dockers' best player today, kicks towards that half-forward line, but not much is happening across there for the Dockers today. Ellison sitting on the bench for North Melbourne. He's kicked a couple of goals. Both came in the first term.
Campbell there as well. Throw in centre wing. Burton gets front position. And get it out eventually through Muir. No distance, plenty of height. Burrows with Roberts to spoil from behind. Well done in front by Anthony Stevens. On the turn, Carey dives and takes another mark. In the centre square, he's got players running past. Archer marks on the 50. Well, Glenn Archer's kicked 4, Carey's kicked 4. He's got King going past on the outside if he needs him. Archer goes to the goal line. And Kickett gets back there to rush it through for a behind.
They certainly move it quickly into the forward line, North Melbourne. A lot of teams run it into the forward line with precise play, but North Melbourne get it quick onto the boot, send it long.
And that's borne out by those stats we looked at earlier on, where North Melbourne are way down the bottom of the competition in kicks, marks, handballs, anything else you like, because they don't overuse the ball. They get it straight there.
And the good thing also is their forwards are prepared to play in front, and you take the advantage.
So Capuano, who is shaping up nearly as the best man on the ground, Don. So his target back here was Archer. Well done this time by O'Reilly. Transferred to McManus, the old 1-2 back to O'Reilly. He's really got a bit of run into his game since leaving the Cats. He's caught the fever here at Fremantle. Ground level, Blakey, cross to Anderson. Second game so far this year. Played 3 last year for North Melbourne. Chips it across there where Stevens. He's always a hard worker. That's a beautiful kick out in front for young Mark Stevens.
McKernan off and Brett Ellison coming back on once again.
Got a bit of height, this boy. It's frightening, the height they have up there.
It's interesting that, well, not interesting. The fact is that Don said before with his 2 kicks, his first 2 kicks in league football last week were goals. His first 2 kicks today, he kicked a goal and hit the post. So using those statistics, we're expecting to go darn close. So probably kick it right off the side of his boot. So Stevens from right on 50. No, he is a beautiful kick. In fact, he is a dead-eye deck.
61 points the margin in favour of North Melbourne, with 5 minutes to go to 3/4 time. Capuano jumps right over the top of Burton. Can't get the ball out. Waters with a headlock put on him by Robert Scott. Allen. Waters is the man playing on Armstrong, and Armstrong's had plenty of the ball. Here goes Blakey. Inside half forward. Carey, 1 touch.
Well,
comes down to Allison. Allison thought about the hand pass, went for the shot for goal and missed it.
I think he could have gone over the top, and Stevens was asking for it. And Ellison was going to give it, and they said, no, I'll do it myself. Maybe he should have done the thing that he instinctively thought of, and that was to go over the top of the handball.
Better be careful, Allison. He's had a couple of spells on the bench. Might earn himself another one. Here's Leach. Up towards centre wing. Bit of space for Madigan. Good mark running in the same direction as the ball. Now they want players running into spaces. Allen. Bounce back for Ben Allen. Movement on the forward line he needs. Wolf. Not too much movement there from the Wolf man. Here he goes. Flips it back to Wills. I think that was a shot for goal. I don't think it was a pass. He's missed goal by 30 metres.
Well, I think he wanted to screw the ball around. Bit of a check side kick, but just didn't make contact correctly with the ball. But they've still got a chance, Fremantle. 35 metres around from their goal. It's just too big for him today. Capuano, mighty Mick Martin. Hasn't had many kicks, but he's as tough as nails. Chance for Allison, he was hung on to there.
Exactly.
Kicking up here to Carey is always the target on the forward line. Then the small players can run past him. Doesn't have to do a U-turn. Not many North Melbourne players actually do U-turns. Pretty well drilled that when a player's running towards you with the ball, that he must have players coming past to give it off, so he doesn't have to actually turn around himself. Burton, up to the front of the pack. Done very well in close today, North Melbourne. There's Blakey. Punch forward by Madigan. Swash has been terrific. So's Armstrong. So this raking left foot kick into this open forehand. Stevens got bumped out of the way by Ridley. Scott, quick snap. This could bounce through. No, off target. One behind. So just 3 minutes to go in this third term. Fremantle 39 plays North Melbourne 92. And we see there that looks like Corey McKernan flat out on his stomach as Leach takes the mark.
92 to 39 with 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Kick by Leach, drops a bit short, and King takes the mark. Oh, open forward line. They wanted it quickly down there, but it wasn't coming from King. It comes in short, actually, and Fremantle just haven't manned up. And here is Matty Armstrong, who is about to have his 32nd disposal, and we've got a quarter of football to go.
And the sun a real problem. You can see there, before that ball had even got to the hands of Armstrong, the hands are up shielding his eye. He'd lost sight of the ball in flight, looking directly into this sun.
Well, the discipline looked as though it had come unstuck then. There were North players everywhere on their own. Kick by Armstrong is perfect.
So Spider Burton, who started this quarter at full forward, now in the ruck, beaten once more by Capuano. Just not winning it out of the centre bounce. They are this time. Madigan comes away with the ball. Former Hawk trying to make it with his second club. Good punch away by Fairley. So a throw in. A lot of good players today, North Melbourne.
Crowd's gone very quiet.
They'll soon rev up. Here comes Wills. Great tackle by Rock.
Wills has hurt himself too after that tackle by Rock.
Allen quickly into the forward line. Chance now. Burrows is in there. He's burrowed into the ground. McMartin there claps. But we've got a free kick.
What's going to rev them up? An 11-goal last quarter by the Dockers.
And here's Wills. Look at the tackle. Now he's hurt himself. He's in the hands of the trainers, but he's all right. He's up on his feet. As good as gold.
So Fairley, there's Spider Burton over the top, and he's off and running. Kick finds Waters. Twisting and turning. Oh, back to Spider. Just went to tap it on. Comes back to Mann, back to Allen, under fierce pressure. Look at the tackling there. Back to Burton, he's off. The long legs, they just can't generate some speed to Wills. He's kicked the goal. Listen to him roar now.
A one-goal comeback.
Actually, it was quick thinking by Burton. Very quick in the legs, but he's in the head, but his legs just couldn't get that drive.
Bit of a fight going on in the crowd up to the left-hand side, the city end of the ground. There's plenty of attention up there behind the goals.
There's not much doing on the ground for them as their Fremantle supporters.
Final term gets underway. Burton finds Waters, one of the clearest ruckman to rover palms in the game. Smith back to centre half forward, roving the pack. Allison off the left boot. A great kick by Allison. What a start to the last quarter. That's his third.
Well, that's something reminiscent of what you do at training Tuesday or Thursday nights. That drill, it was just classic. The way he roved the pack, a contest. The ball again sent long into the forward line. Carey behind on this occasion. But there's Allison doing it so well. Finishing it off, his third goal. 3 goals too today to Allison.
And has spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. So Capuano, who has taken over the ruck mantle from Alex Oshenko, beaten this time by Burton, taken by Stevens. They've been terrific, the small men for North Melbourne today. Chance here for O'Reilly to get to the ball first. Been shepherded here by Will. Still can't pick the ball up. Will's doing a good job keeping McKernan off the ball. O'Reilly's caught. Oh, pushed Rock to the ground. Don't argue. Hutton's his best. Kicks the ball up where we see Spider Burton. Now he kicks the ball backwards. This could be dangerous. Waters there. Collided with his teammate in Leach. Comes out. Handballs to himself.
Oh,
now they're really fiddling around now. Wills goes backwards. Another great tackle by North Melbourne. Now he's clear. Fantastic pressure by the Kangaroos. So he kicks a high ball looking for Burrows. Good punch away by Roberts. Anderson at ground level. Callaghan drives him into the ground. Roberts once more. He's happy to just paddle it over the line.
It's a very good play. I don't mind that, Anderson. I think he's all right.
I did say earlier on he's playing his second game in the AFL, second this season. He played 3 games last year. Still 20 years of age.
You can see by Roberts' stats that hasn't had a lot of ground time today. McKernan looks like the ham is right. Back here we see Muir just fumbles the ball. They've done that all day, the Dockers. Their ball handling has been very, very poor. Chance there for Wolf. He couldn't take it cleanly. The gloves, no rosin today. But look at Armstrong. He has killed him. Carey there, 2 against 1 there. Takes the free kick.
He copped it. Kick from Kickett.
Geez, good if he doesn't get the mark in getting the ball to the ground. And players like Allison running past, they must love this.
Well, he plays in front, Drew. He got caught behind before. But he does play in front the majority of the time.
So he goes short, finds Scott. He's had a long ping at the goals. It's not going to come around. Minor score. It was a nasty knock that Carey took then from Kickett coming straight on at him. They persist kicking in short all day, and this time Jones. Jared Neesham has decided that Jones is the best person for Wayne Carey. Gives it back to the running Wills. Finds Waters.
He's got some class, Wills. He's a lot more consistent in his game.
North have manned up so well today. The running game of the Dockers hasn't really been to the fore. Just been a couple of bursts by Delaney, but nothing like what we've seen from the Dockers so far this year. McManus. Now, they don't really have the high flyers down their forward line to just bomb the ball in. Here's Delaney. He's been arguably their best player. Sets this one up for man. Should goal. He does, and there's that roar, Drew.
Peter Mann getting his second goal. Only 2 multiple goal scorers. Delaney and Mann both with 2 for the home side. And Peter Mann playing against his former team, North Melbourne. Not his greatest day. 13 possessions, 5 marks, a couple of goals. Not bad. Ball up in the middle. Burton wins this. But once again can't get it clear. Waters does best. Wills pulled off his hand pass. Comes to Campbell. Hurriedly boot to ball. Carey's there. Chest mark on the 50. And look at the space here. Rock, he can bounce if he likes, but he kicks the goal. That is just perfect football. Wouldn't you like to run past Carey and kick a goal?
I can remember playing for Richmond when Tom Hafey was coach. Very similar style to North Melbourne. I can remember the game plan was get the ball, kick it high, kick it long, kick it down to Royce Hart, and we'll win the game. I think North Melbourne used a similar tactic.
Actually, it's not bad when you start to think of it, Kevin, because in a final, if it's a real pressure game, you can't fancy down around with hand passes, short passes, when there's real pressure. And what they're doing here, this could be good finals football, because this is the way it's played in a final, real pressure stuff.
Well, there were some good stats the other day. I think it showed North Melbourne the third side in the competition, goals per average of actually possessions of handling the ball. So they don't handle the ball that often to get goals on the board. So Blakey swung as he kicks the ball. Punched away by Stevens. Still doing the disciplined things. Callaghan. Mighty McMartin in front of Wolf. Toe poke there from Fairley. Back to Armstrong. Just fantastic today, Armstrong. That's his 35th possession.
So
and Carey out in front.
He's in front once again. They're all in front. Martin in front.
Well, look, he's too big, too tall, too strong, too good. Kicks down. Here's another mark. They're very, very strong here. Archer is one of the best marks for his size in league football. Just about a Collingwood 6-footer. We've seen Madigan have trouble with him in the air. Kickett had trouble. Very strong. Just able to use, and you said before, Don, about blokes pushing with the hands. That was a classical one where he used his body.
And he led Madigan underneath the ball and then was able to drop back onto it.
So Archer today has booted 4 goals, 1 in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, 1 in the third. And he has brought up his 5th goal in this final term.
This is probably Archer's best game for the year. Last week, he was a very good player. His best game for the year last week, and he certainly has improved upon that form. He was down earlier in the season, but gradually coming back to form. The last 3 weeks, he's played up forward. And that's his 5th goal for the day. It's a good effort.
There's a bit going on in the crowd over there. I think they've lost interest in the football. We're back in the middle. 117 plays 51. Kick it. Scott ducks the high tackle, puts it out in front of Stevens. His little kick out wide. Campbell approaching the 50. Leach runs him down but doesn't get him. Kick by Campbell. Archer at the back. Off hands to Carey. Oh. An amazing similarity here. Carey and Archer have both kicked 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth.
So Spider Burton wins the tap, but Blakey just punches the ball forward. Kick it. They haven't reached their targets today with hand or foot Fremantle. There's a kick off the ground that's been marked by Peter Manns. Booted a couple of goals, 13 possessions. Now he's just kicked this to space, so Burrows runs on and takes it. I think that's what they've got to do, Fremantle. Haven't really got the big tall players on their forward line. Always got to kick to space, allow players to run onto the ball or run the ball in quickly. But North have really cut off all those options today. Burrows. It's a long bomb. Just 1 minor score. Yes, Campbell going off the field there for North Melbourne, and coming on is King.
What did he do wrong? He only set up the last goal.
So Laley out of the back pocket. Been a terrific pickup for North Melbourne. Played over 50 games now for the Kangaroos since coming across from the West Coast. Armstrong. Just got bowled over, and a free kick will go back here. And Rock just gives it back to Armstrong, who's got a loose player out wide. So spaces on their side. Hutton was there, taken by Anderson. Feeds it off. Beautiful. Hand pass out in front. Didn't have to break stride there. And I'll just take a one-hander maybe, says Carey. No. Delaney went to leave it for Waters. McManus hasn't had a good day. Rock just thumps it back. And we see Allison drops it. He's already booted 3. Tapped it back. Hasn't got support this time. Once more, the ball handling. Overrunning the ball, Fremantle. Now gives it back. He's got a chance to pop it over the top here to Swash. All he needs is a kind bounce. He'll run into goal. He actually tries to make it a bit harder than what it should be. And Archer puts through goal number 6.
They're under a lot of pressure, aren't they, the Dockers? You can see that by that hand pass, which allowed Allison to get onto the ball. And that's due to North Melbourne's tackling early in the game. It really has brought them undone. It's like a boxer. If you work downstairs, they've got to bring their hands down, and that's what's brought Fremantle down, the tackling early. Now they're going for the head.
Well, that's a margin now of 77 points. Their biggest defeat this year was against the Eagles. It was 85 points, so they might be heading for their worst thumping here today. Still plenty of time left, 13 minutes left. And they've worked it out of the middle again, North. Through King. Armstrong, another perfect hand pass. Blakey thought he might kick a goal, so tripped over. Carey dishes off another hand pass. Scott, left footer. Archer, well placed again? No.
Should be penalised there, Archer. The umpire saw the hand around Madigan.
Robert Scott's kicked 3 behinds.
Drew, David Parkin said at half-time, it's from week to week, just players being on their game. When you consider the Fremantle sides had 2 big wins over the last 2 weeks, over 70 points against St Kilda, and against the Bears over 60 points, and then today getting an absolute thumping. So it says a lot for just the mental attitude of players. So Waters finds Jones. Been a big job for him today. Loose player in McManus. Only playing his 7th game of league football. Leach comes through, finds Wills, one of the most experienced Dockers, played every game for the Cats last year, so he's had 2 bounces. He'll run inside 50. It's a floater, got to be in front, and this man is Anderson. He just feeds it off to Laidley. Now they'll run the ball out through Mick Martin. He'll give it back. 1-2 to Laidley. Now he's going to transfer the ball back across the face of goals to Smith. They can afford to do that. This kick is going to just stay in for King. Now Swash is there, wait at the back of the pack. You can see it coming, so Swash is off and running. Now, a bit of shepherding, a la Fremantle style by Blakey. Now he's into 50, pops it up. Running onto the ball here for North Melbourne and taking the mark. Terrific players, Rock.
Actually, that was a pass by Swash. It was good effort by Swash. Players down the ground were covered. And look, you can see him looking now. What's coming? Look, you see the eyes. He spots Rock. Normally a right foot, left foot kick. It's a good kick.
And a pretty good mark by Rock, because he had to run into that space where he had 2 Fremantle players. He would have seen them in his vision, but just never, ever, any stage, did he take a short step. And that's how you finish up a nice piece of play.
Still over 11 minutes to go, and 84 points the difference. It'll be a percentage booster for North, who came into the game with a percentage of just 95.4. Here's Rock firing out the hand pass to Danilchenko, just back on the ground. Dragged down on the tackle. Comes to Quentin Leach. Leach up towards half forward. Good mark taken by Burrows. In between wing and half forward for the Dockers. Kicked by Burrows, just outside of full forward. Oh, and well done by Blakey. They've combined all over the ground. Look at Mick Martin running up from full-back, taking the hand pass. Fires one up that's not too flash. Missed the man by about 5 metres. Put him under all sorts of pressure. And now Waters bottles it up for the Dockers and will have a ball up.
I was a bit surprised the ball was down there, in actual fact, Drew. Probably a little bit rusty coming out of defence with the ball constantly being on North Melbourne's forward line.
Yeah. Burton beats Capuano, and Burton follows up, does his own roving. Oh, clean ball was Wolf, and the Dockers have done this all over the ground with fumbles everywhere. Man, robbed of the ball. Roberts comes out with it. Kick out wide, near the boundary at centre wing. McKernan, he has a bit of a fumble, and the ball's out of play. So this margin is 84. Their worst hiding so far this year was 85. So with still 10 minutes to go, it looks a very bad afternoon for the Dockers.
That's a fair understatement, Drew. Durkay just pushed out of the way. He's been in and out of the game today. A great goal in the first term. There's just another Fremantle player just fumbling the ball, but this time Burton shows him how to do it, playing in front. Could have been a free kick for North Melbourne down there. Mick Martin off the ground, long here to Scott.
Whereas you could make an excuse maybe against the Eagles with all that build-up, and it was like a derby, as they call it over here. Against North Melbourne, I don't think they'd expect nearly 100-point thrashing.
No, I think that some critics would have even tipped Fremantle today. Across to Danilchenko, one of the young guns of North Melbourne. They've got a high opinion of Danilchenko. It's a magnificent kick. Just starting to get a few touches in league football. So Mick Martin comes up to do some of the ruck work. Kick off the ground by Allen. Chance here for Burrows. Give it across here to Leach. He's dragged to the ground. The tackling by North Melbourne's been fantastic today. Taken by Smith. The backing up, Martin. Stevens got the numbers there. Anderson, who Don Scott is really impressed with. Caught this time, taken by Callaghan. Playing in front is Blakey, held for mine. Should have been paid a free kick. Muir's over the top of him. Should have been paid a free kick, Blakey being in front then. Interfered with. We can see he's even held there. Did terrific there, Blakey. Look at that, the wild swish off the ground. Muir's on top, the former North Melbourne reserves player. Wolf wins the tap down, but Armstrong once more takes the ball away. It's possession number 38 for Armstrong. Scott's been good since he's come off the bench. Had the job going on to Delaney, who killed him in the first quarter. And this bloke has absolutely killed him all day. He could even hand pass laying on his back. Across the rock, kicks to space. Out comes young Mark Stevens. Beat this time by Kickett. Plains the hand pass, back to Wills. He wants to run. McManus is on the end of it. Always going back. They're not really going forward today, Fremantle. Every time they win the ball, they actually go backwards. We see Wills ends up with the ball once more. Finds Durkay. Lost Chisholm out of defence 5 minutes into the quarter, and I think that just has unsettled him because he is a guy who always runs forward. Hutton a long way from goals.
But all the options are covered up the ground, which is a credit to North Melbourne. See, he's taking so long to get the ball in, Hutton, that, you know, it's not to the advantage of the forwards because their backmen, North backmen, are doing a terrific job.
And I think ducking back all the time like they have today has created that problem for themselves. Wolf was down there, couldn't take the mark. Now he's got a chance. He's doing a bit of shepherding there. Gets the ball back. That was well done to Mann. Back to Waters. Just didn't quite take it clean. Look at that tackling once more by North Melbourne. Back to Callaghan. Took the hand pass from Muir. Crossed the face of goals. Allen is there. Stevens has been his shadow all day. It's been a terrific duel between Anthony Stevens. He's had 21 possessions and Ben Allen's had 20. And they've played on each other all day. You can see him on screen. I think there'll be a nice shake of the hands after the game and a well done. Wolf just takes it out, but he's got 3 to beat. Martin gives it out, taken by Hutton. Wild knock on there. Lands in the arms of Wolf. Kick a goal, son. It's missed.
Well, still over 6.5 minutes remaining in the game. 136 to 53. The pass in short to Rock. Little Rock, Arkansas. Out to the back pocket. Stevens. Might be having a little contest between themselves, Stevens and Allen. Archer well up the ground for a man who's kicked so many goals. He's kicked 6.
Well done, big fella.
Here's Burrows. Kick by Burrows down towards the forward pocket. Punched down by Fairley. They're still doing the discipline things. No time for Callaghan. It spills back to him. He's got another chance. Muir goes back. Delaney across the face of goal. And it bounces out and we'll have a throw in. Well, you blokes probably have both been in this situation. How tough is it for the team well in front to keep it going? And they are with their tackling because they'd be aware of percentage, wouldn't they?
I think it's easier. When you're in front, you tend to do all those sorts of things because the confidence is high. Everyone runs a little bit harder. You feel fresher. The adrenaline's flowing.
Free kick here to Burrows right in front. So
a lot harder when you're that far behind on the scoreboard. You tend to drag the heels a bit.
Here's the replay of the free kick. There's Burrows. Maybe he could have gone on to Kira. I'd like to have seen that switch.
Well, he hasn't kicked a goal today so far. Kicked 11 goals for the year. He's only a youngster, like a number of Fremantle players, certainly inexperienced. Pops it through. So North Melbourne by 77 points. Look at once more Capuano. How many times today has he just thumped that ball from that centre bounce? Been fantastic. That's been a bit of a surprise today, that the fact that young Capuano was going to jump over the likes of particularly Spider Burton with his height, and also Wolf.
Well, the first 3 quarters I agree with you, but I credit to Burton. I reckon he's beaten him in the last quarter, except for that bounce down there.
Well, he's taken both of them on all day. Kick it back to Waters. Good in close that time. Back to Madigan. So Wills comes away, kicks it in front. That's a lovely kick up to Burrows. Haven't had much chance to do that today, Fremantle. Now he's getting a bit of shepherding from Hutton. Goes short. Just his teammate wasn't aware of it there, McManus, and then bang, crash. Wolf just irons him out. He's playing his 7th game of league football, young McManus. Played his first game against Footscray out at the Western Oval. We see there in 2 minds whether to have a shot for goal, Burrows, or go short. And there was the collision. McMahon just had a bit of a look around. Rock. He's been caught high there, not paid. Anderson just twists out of the pack. Durkay paddles along in front, does well to get it to Burrows. Could kick a goal, and does. So he's kicked 2 goals in the last 2 minutes.
Well, once again, a little scrappy, the goal. Pushed out. And to take advantage of the push out, Burrows. His second goal, he kicked the last goal. Anderson turning the ball over. Nobody really clean in picking it up. As Sir Durkay more or less paddled along in front, across to Burrows. But their confidence is really down.
And North Melbourne will move 2 games clear of the Dockers on the premiership ladder after this one. And again in percentage. Waters gets the hand pass out. Delaney up to Allen. Into Durkay. Approaching 50. The kick on the run. Not quite there. And the mark to Blakey in the last line. Four minutes remaining in the game. John Blakey, 21 possessions. That was his 4th mark. Out short to Scott, still in the back pocket. Sun, a bit of a problem in that little corner of the ground. About 5% of the ground left in sunshine at the moment. And the ball back out of bounds and a throw in.
Gee, there's no one down on the North Melbourne forward line. It's completely open. All players around the centre line. There's the forward line. If we pan left, there's just nothing.
There's Scott Chisholm already in his civvies. Only played about 5 minutes today. Schwass the hand pass. And the kick by Smith. Half back to half forward. Carey.
There's nobody in front of Carey.
Carey's 13th mark. Fires out the hand pass. Laidley a defender. He thought about kicking a goal. Didn't quite know what to do with it. He's gone red hot holding the ball.
Well, all options were covered down the ground for Laidley because they all had their back to him when he got the ball.
Gee, there's one thing about Carey. He does bring teammates into the game. Now, sometimes you'd reckon, why doesn't he go back and have a big thump? And it's across the ground and the mark taken by O'Reilly. The stats for Carey: 13 marks, 16 kicks, 7 handballs, 5 goals.
It's close to a best on ground performance, I would suggest, as O'Reilly kicks the ball long. Burton in front. Rock went off early after being carved up by Delaney. Has done well since he's come back onto the ground. Swash that time, his hand pass intercepted. Hutton just paddles it back through his legs. Swash kicks it over the line. Been a good player, Swash. 23 possessions, 5 marks. Capuano, I think they'll be thrilled with his performance, the North Melbourne Brains Trust. Wills just taps it along the ground. Scott once more paddles long. Wills is there. Throw in. So Andrew Wills has kicked 1 goal today, 15 goals for the year. Started the game on the interchange bench. Archer's been fantastic. He's kicked 6 goals. Out to Armstrong. Highest possession winner on the ground. Allison, who's already booted 3, kicked the first goal of this quarter. I think that could be nearly a free kick to Carey, not paid. Was he interfered with then, Don?
No, I think the umpire took the easy option out and played the score.
Because you're critical that they don't pay free kicks. Let's have a look here. Let's see, was he interfered with? Or he might have just copped one a little bit high, maybe a bit Tiggy Touchwood.
If he was a battler looking for his first kick, he might have got a free kick. But I reckon they think, oh, he'll get it well enough on his own.
So Riley with his high ball. Burrows went for the big fly. Waters to Ben Allen. Elected not to give it off the first time to Wills. Now kicks up into the space, but only McMartin there. Oh. Drops a sit-up in front of Wolf. Cop one in the back, maybe. Play on, but here's a certain goal here to Fremantle, and Hutton pops it through. Second goal.
North Melbourne really have taken a foot off the accelerator as far as their concentration is concerned. Hutton by himself, Smith letting him get away. Martin dropping an elementary mark. He should have taken that. Callaghan across to Hutton. And Hutton's second.
Actually, the Dockers have kicked the last 3 goals because their margin got out to 84. Now back to 66.
Mick Martin, what are they doing with Mick? They're putting Delanchenko down there. Mick might be coming off and Laidley back on.
Well, I think it must take a long time to get his...
been over that mistake.
It might take a long time to untape his ankles or something. He's got to get the plane tonight. There's only a minute 40 left. Capuano beats him. Down to Armstrong. What a game by Matty Armstrong. What a game by this man, Wayne Carey.
Once again in front.
And certainly Jared Neesham has shown faith in young Jones, who has been there all day. And you just hope he hasn't broken the kid's spirit.
Well, you suggested before, Drew, about Wayne Carey just having the big shot at goal himself. Here it comes.
This for number 7 to the captain. He's kicked it out of sight. Look at that. Can the boy play?
And while he was kicking for goal, Mick Martin was on the phone to the coach. I think we all know why.
Not for a moment suggesting that Jared Neesham has broken the spirit of Jones, but I think Carey's had a fair bit to do with it.
That's a magnificent drop punt. It's gone 60 metres.
Well, he's kicked another 6 goals, and I said earlier, Don, that I think he's the best goal-kicking centre-half forward in the history of the game. We've had some fantastic centre-half forwards. Royce Hart certainly is the first one that springs to my mind, but Royce never kicked the goals that Carey does in that position. Different style of game, balls move quicker, all that sort of thing. But certainly he's a goal-kicking machine out at centre-half forward. So Blakey gets it across to Roberts. Just heads to the open spaces. Madigan gets there first. They've had a tough day covering Archer. He's also booted 6. So Burrows, who's kicked 2 goals in this last quarter, heads towards the goal square. Blakey's been in front all day. Callaghan at ground level does well to tap this across to Hutton.
It's a free kick.
Did he cop one high? Yes, he did.
Now, why wouldn't the umpire pay advantage in that situation if it's going to be a Fremantle kick?
Well, he pays advantage if he thinks it is going to be an advantage to him, Don. Now, he may have felt...
free kick there.
Well, he didn't see it as being an advantage because...
I don't think Mann kicked the goal. He missed it.
But it wasn't an advantage because Mann was under pressure when he was going to dispose of the ball. So, Hutton comes in. He's kicked 2, 1 in the 3rd quarter, 1 in this last term. 22 goals for the year. And it's going to remain 22 goals for the year. So a 71-point lead to North Melbourne with just 11 seconds to go.
They've won every quarter. They led by 20 points at quarter time, 46 at half time, 53 at 3/4 time, and it's now 71. Archer has kicked 6. Carey has kicked 6. Allison has kicked 3 goals. Just seconds remaining in the game, and North Melbourne have come across here for a thumping victory over the Fremantle Dockers. Scott has it in the back pocket. And there it is. Our Adelaide viewers will be leaving us for the news. Here's the final score at Subiaco Oval. North 22-11, 143 to Fremantle 11-6, 72. And some North fans, and I mentioned before the game, I reckon there'd be plenty of North fans in Perth with so many West Australians having gone across to play for the Kangaroos. So I'm not sure that these people have made the trip. I reckon they might live in Perth. They've had a great day, but oh, the Dockers have had a bad one. There's a pat on the back from the skipper, Ben Allen, for Jones, a 20-year-old who played all day on Carey and saw the great man kick 6 goals, take 14 marks. And how do you stop him? When he's in form like that, he is irresistible. He burst back into form last Friday week against Essendon, and he's done it again here. And Peter Mann, who's surrounded by former teammates and handshakes all round with some of the support staff and as well as the players. The umpires still not popular. I don't think they contributed to the 71-point defeat somehow, the umpires. But Peter Mann, I suppose he did all right with 6 marks, 16 possessions. And we can go down to the ground now, and here's Dwayne Lamb with Wayne Carey.
Wayne, congratulations, a great win. You know, Dockers have been in a bit of form, but you really put them back in the box today.
Yeah, we're a bit worried about coming over here. I mean, they've done very well, the Dockers, and we know the way they play, the way they run, and I thought it was up to the forwards today to really chase and put pressure on, and I thought we did that, and it was a great win.
It seemed to be, I suppose I compared it to the West Coast Eagles game against them. You put a lot of physical pressure on the players. Was that part of the lead up to the game?
It was. We watched that tape actually probably 3 times during the week and watched how the Eagles did put pressure on, and obviously that was a bit of a help today. I mean, we've never played the Dockers before, so we didn't know much about them other than what we saw on TV.
And a little bit of a scare with the shoulder with that early fall, but come up all right?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was I think I got flipped there, but no, it's all right. It got through the game. That's the main thing.
Yeah, congratulations. Well played again.
Thanks very much.
See you,
Yeah,
mate.
well done, Wayne Carey, down there with Dwayne Lamb. And the cheers you heard were for the Fremantle team as they left the ground. Badly beaten here today, but the fans giving them an encouraging cheer. But they've received a 71-point thumping. North 22-11 to Fremantle 11-6.
The Big V is out to regain the State of Origin crown. Catch the Battle Royal next Saturday on 7.